Hi guys. So I'm just playing around with the lights right now, so that's why it looks a little bright. Just gonna see if this works. I've been trying to get a good lighting, but I haven't managed to find like exactly what I'm looking for. So that's what's going on. That's why this thing is blaring in my face, or at least it feels like it. So we're gonna see if this works. So this is a collective reading today. So, what does the collective who's watching right now need to know for their highest timeline? What does the collective who's watching right now need to know for their highest timeline? Ooh, it's getting a little hot. Okay, one more. All right, we have the Seven of Fire. Seven of Fire. And the Ace of Fire. Some warm energy here. Yeah. Okay. All right. What does the collective who's watching right now need to know for their highest timeline? What's the collective who's watching right now need to know for their highest timeline? One more. Okay, you have the King of Swords. King of Swords. All right, and I'm not sure if I'll get flagged for this. You can't really see anything. It's you know, obviously you're looking at something, but it's not really visible. So on the bottom we have the King of Cups. Oh, so two kings here. All right. Yeah, that's putting off some heat. My goodness. I have my hot cocoa here too. I don't know if I'm going to be able to drink that. Yeah. All right, so what messages does the collective who's watching right now need to know for their highest timeline? Highest timeline. Okay. All right. There's a lot more messages coming out lately in these collective readings. Okay. All right, so let me just kind of go over these cards while I do this. So here we have the Seven of Fire. She's looking at the camera. She has a big chalice in front of her with a lotus in it. So this could represent like a pensieve, like water magic, seeing something emotionally, some kind of emotional clarity, emotional truth. It's a fire card. That inspires passion. Yeah. Because Seven of Fire can tend to be someone standing their ground, standing up for something that they believe in, or that they passionately believe in. Okay, then we have the Ace of Fire. And this is a fire dragon protecting an egg. This black spider on it too. Something woven or being woven into existence. Manifestation. But this is the actual, like, because here we have an egg. Like, that's something, it feels like something either here or visible. Oh, like I'm being drawn to this egg almost being like this lotus that's sitting in her bowl. Seeing an egg, seeing something. Seeing a manifestation coming in, seeing the clarity of something. Yeah. Ace of Fire, passionate. Very passionate. Stokes the heat. Can be the a card of, like, you know, the phallus, or the masculine nature of pursuit. Okay, and we have 2 kings here. All right. Oh, yeah, I am burning up. I hope I don't have a sweat mustache going on. Feels like it. I really want to drink my hot cocoa. Hold on. Okay. Let's put that down. All right, so let me finish with the kings over here. So we have the King of Swords, being in possession of knowledge, truth, states of mind, and the King of Cups, being in possession emotionally, I want to say emotionally solid. Okay, so the kings are at the very top of their element. So they're holding the peak of knowledge or the peak of emotion within their suit. They're entrusted with the knowledge, or whatever their suit is about, they're entrusted with it to act responsibly. Yeah, let's just leave it like that and get to the messages. Okay, so we have Boy Meets World, Sagittarius, 2021. I'm not going to say this. This is something that's important to me, but it's a flagship that I'm creating. So we'll just like kind of work around that. So let me just say like flagship and or creative project pursuit. Okay. Neuroplasticity, December, Windfall, Amazon, write about ... pipe, good energy, Beauty and the Beast, Finland, how to train your dragon, and Wisconsin. Okay. Boy Meets World. So this obviously is a show back in the 90s. I didn't watch it very much. I knew a lot of people that did. I know Topanga and Corey, right? They were the main couple. I just watched something recently, actually. The reason why I know that, I just watched something recently, a clip where they were like at a movie theater and Topanga was like dating his friend, or it was something like that, or like the illusion of it. And he was upset at the end of the movie, and he told her that if he could design the perfect woman for himself, or girl, I guess, she was better than anything that he could imagine. And then he realized that they had kind of set up this whole thing to get him to speak and reveal his emotions about Topanga. It was something like that. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I got a bit of a sweat mustache going on, so just bear with me. This is probably not gonna work out since I'm already like hot. So, okay, with the light. So Sagittarius. Okay, so this is just Sagittarius. In my thing, I have like Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius sun, Sagittarius Venus, and so on. But this is just Sagittarius. A new adventure, something passionate. I mean, we have all this fire right above it. Playful. Reminds me of the first reading that I did for Sagittarius with the ladybug. That's just immediately what I connect to Sagittarius energy now, is the ladybug. So ladybug, freely exploring. Not being afraid of who's watching. Yeah. Okay, then 2021. So whenever we have years here, that's something like to kind of look back on if something happened during 2021. So it's significant in some way. It could have something to do with like your memories, something that happened in 2021. Could be the year a movie came out that might be important to watch. Like, often I say, unless you want to like go through memories and stuff, or if it's triggering something for you. But normally when I see a year come through, I allow it to come into my life. Like, I just simply ask, what does this mean? So what does 2021 mean? And just like the next time you see something with like 2021, just like pay extra attention to it. Just see if it means anything for you. Just kind of listen to what it has to say. Yeah. Okay. Then we have flagship. So something being created. This could be something like on a large scale. Things with many things within it. Or it could just be a simple creative project, a vision. Something that you're creating or wanting to create. I'm seeing this thing in her pensieve. Like, she's having a vision of something. She can see something very clearly that she's bringing in. And it reminds me of this egg. Soul's inheritance. Something divinely meant for you to birth and create. And she's like seeing it. Either this is her seeing the vision of it and understanding it. I was going to say, or this is a different person, because we have two people here. We have two kings. Is this something being shown or revealed and she's seeing it? Or is this just her? We'll see. Okay. Then we have neuroplasticity. So this came through in the Aquarius reading about bringing different elements into your life, new things to change your neuroplasticity. Like doing simple things that you normally wouldn't do, changing your routine, brushing with the left side of your hand if you normally brush with your right side. It's naturally creating new connections. And if you continue to do this, just like introducing new things into your life, that's what I do. I'm constantly just adding in different types of just alchemy, like even with like YouTube, I think that's one of my favorite things. Like things that I normally wouldn't choose to watch. Just like introducing things in that that I normally wouldn't have chosen to watch, but it inspires me, so I watch it. And then it ends up inspiring me in new ways. It's changing the connections in my brain. It's bringing new things in, new inspiration. King of Swords, it's sitting right below it. So King of Swords, yeah, he's responsible with the highest knowledge of his suit. So the king energy, I normally never would have said this, maybe even like a year ago, but the kings kind of remind me of Hierophant energy. Like they have that responsibility to share what they know or to hold it and not have to speak. And with King of Swords, it just reminds me of the intellectual side of the Hierophant energy. Holding knowledge, but knowing when to speak it. Knowing how to speak it. Being trusted with the words it speaks, because the King of Swords can sever right through something. Like if there's any card that can completely have a clean sever through of something, it is the King of Swords. It has the last say when it comes to knowledge, truth. So it's relied upon to be speaking the truth. It can harm people if it doesn't. It's a king. Okay. So then we have December. Sorry guys, like I'm really sweating here. I might turn this off. My goodness. Jeez. Yeah, that was getting a little ridiculous. I'm sorry if the lighting's a little cruddy now, but it is what it is. Like I was starting to really sweat. Okay. So December. Maybe something happened in December. Something important. We have 2021, December of 2021 maybe might be interesting to look at. But yeah, December. The beginning of winter. Yeah, that was just a couple months ago, so maybe something happened in December that might be kind of important to reflect on. It's sitting here right between King of Swords and the King of Cups. This kingly emotional and intelligence. December. There's something important, it feels like, in December. Like kingly, king-worthy, emotionally and intellectually so. We're going to keep coming around to that. Just kind of spurting out stuff right now. Okay. Then we have Windfall. So Windfall, I typically think of money. Windfall. But it's sitting right underneath the King of Cups. A windfall of emotion. That sounds like a wave of energy. Windfall. There's a song that always reminds me of King of Cups energy. Wave. Wave or Wash? Wash by John Bellion. Every time I hear that song, it just reminds me of the King of Cups. Just allowing like the waves to just like wash over you. Emotionally, romantically. It's a beautiful song. I would recommend to go watch that if that's what's coming through right now. But Windfall with this King of Cups energy. Yeah, just allowing the like full rush of just emotion to just like hit you. And kings are, since this is the King of Cups, like he's the top of his element. He holds the peak of it. So if there's anyone that can take the full wave of something, the full emotion of something, it is the King of Cups. I'm just kind of looking at, I'm gonna go ahead and cover that up just in case. He's kind of just floating in the water, really just feeling all the emotions. It almost looks like a wave just like crashed upon him, and he's just like allowing it all to just like pierce through him, just like feeling it all. Yeah, windfall, wave fall. Okay, then we have Amazon. So this could be about Amazon, like the actual delivery service. Delivery? The Amazon, the forest. Okay, we'll keep coming back around to it. All right, write about ... pipe. I don't know if you can see it. He has a pipe. That's immediately what I just thought of. Write about pipe. About, I just thought of like Granddad's pipe from Parent Trap with the two girls. Her granddad had a pipe. I don't know why I was just thinking about that. You smell of pipe tobacco. Okay, so write about pipe. This could be something like if you smoke out of a pipe, someone who smokes out of a pipe. This could be about drugs. Just thinking like not most people, but a lot of people who smoke marijuana smoke it out of a pipe. I know I used to. I used to love pipes. I used to have a bunch of different colorful ones and like an alien one, and back when I was like in my early 20s. Pipe. Write about pipe. Okay. We'll keep going, but that might be something fun. Write about pipe. Something from the past. Pipe. Okay. All right. Good energy. That's the whole reason why I wrote that. Let me keep it on the disc. Okay, so good energy. I haven't read this book yet, but I have watched a lot of Casey and Callie Means, and they're the reason that I'm on my health journey that I am. And I bought this book because I just have so much respect for them. Yeah. We're gonna keep it like that. But if you've watched the Joe Rogan episode with Casey and Callie Means, it's like 3 hours long. I've watched it several times. Just it's full of so much good information about the medical system, the corruption within the food industry. Yeah. So good energy. All right, Beauty and the Beast. So this is a movie, animation, Beauty and the Beast. Many movies have been written and kind of based off of this. Beastly, the movie Penelope. Those are kind of what I'm thinking of right now, but it's about like breaking a curse. They kind of are all a little different, but it's pretty much about like someone having a curse or being cursed. Oh, also, the Swan Princess is another one. Like about just being cursed in some way and having to break the curse. And it normally kind of revolves around true love or some kind of curse that you have to break. I'm thinking of Penelope. Finding something within yourself. This could be like family curses. I have a different viewpoint on what curses are. I think they're more psychological and have a lot to do with like what families pass on to the next generation. Those things that like were never broken and just continuously passed down. Like bad behavior, bad just ways of being. Yeah, yeah, but curse breaker, breaking a pattern, a generational pattern. This could be with something else. This could be with love, because, you know, Beauty and the Beast was around love. Okay, then we have Finland. And I believe this came through in a Taurus reading a few readings ago. Finland. About being the happiest country on earth. They were voted the happiest country on earth. And something about eucalyptus was important. It's what they, in their saunas, what they hit on their backs. And they're also the country of 1,000 lakes. It was about being in a state of many. It was about emotion, being in a state of many emotions. Yeah. We'll see what that has to do, if that has anything to do with this reading. Okay, then we have How to Train Your Dragon. I love the series. How to Train Your Dragon. A lot went on in that. I don't want to go down the wrong rabbit hole. How to Train Your Dragon. I'm focused on, there's a dragon right here. How to Train Your Dragon. How to train your manifestation. How to fly with it. How to give it wings. How to train it. Train like Rocky. I got that the other day in a message for myself with some other things in my life. But it's, yeah, kind of like this dragon energy, being relentless, doing what you've got to do, putting in the work, being the best at something. Oh, I guess I can read this. This is something that I have sitting on my own, my lampshade that I see every single day. And it's kind of about this energy, kind of being relentless, training. So the first one is, I want you to know that it doesn't matter how hard you work, I'm willing to work harder than you. And Kobe Bryant to another athlete. And then this one is, everyone is going to underestimate you. Make them pay for it. Be ruthless. Ragnar to his son Ivor. There's another one, but it doesn't seem like it's important here. But that's just what that reminded me of. That dragon energy, being relentless with something, knowing your worth. And this is clearly something born of you. This is something that no one else can take from you. It's born inside of you. You choose to put it out into the world. And that's also a big reason, especially nowadays, about being very protective and cautious about especially about your creativity. And making sure that you're putting the necessary boundaries around things. Safeguards. Especially around things that are like this. Because these are sacred. These are the kind of things like other people might want to take once it's born, when it's, you know, hatched. Keeping these things safe. The proper safeguards. Which reminds me of like Train Like Rocky. You know, just doing what you need to do to protect things. Train your mind. Train your emotions. We have two kings here. And this is almost like passionate with these two energies right here. It's kind of just making me feel like the King of Fire as well. Like fiery, relentless. Yeah, train like Rocky. Be ruthless. I got 888 with that one with Be Ruthless recently, so. And it came through for a Capricorn reading, actually. Okay. Then we have Wisconsin. Yeah. Wisconsin cheese curds. If there's anything I'd want to go to Wisconsin for, it's like to try some cheese curds. I've just heard like great things about it. I've never really cared about cheese curds, but I've just heard a lot about them. That's just what I'm thinking of right now. Yeah, Wisconsin. Okay, and unless this means something to you, or just kind of like with 2021, just if something, just kind of have your eye out. If you see something come across your newsfeed with Wisconsin on it, just pay a little extra attention. There might be something there for you. Yeah. Okay. So the King of Swords, King of Cups, if these are two people, two kings working together, a king of intellect and then a king of emotion, or this could literally just be within you, protecting this fiery birth, this thing born of passion, born of your passion. I'm still trying to figure out what this energy is. I can't put my finger on it. It almost looks like someone observing something. It almost feels like an outside energy. It might not be, because we have 2021 below it. So this could be like looking into the past. Oh, in a Cancer reading, a couple readings ago, the Cancers were looking into their past for their eggs. And it was literally this card. Diving deep, searching wherever they needed to search, looking in their past. 2021 is lying right below this. This is like finding an egg in the past. She found something in her memories, something recorded, evidence, whatever it is. That literally looks like spotting something and realizing you have something. Finding an egg. Something passionate. Yeah, and it's sitting right next to this like flagship thing. It might spur on, it might be like the foundation of creating a creative pursuit, a creative foundation, organization, a literal flagship, a website, whatever this might be for you. Could just be something very personal or the very beginning of something for you. Or it could be something already developed. It's going to be different for everyone here. Okay, and then we have neuroplasticity. So this is sitting right underneath the King of Swords. Being certain, not talking about things that you don't know. Kind of like this. I know a lot about Casey and Callie meanings. I've watched a lot on them. There's a lot that I understand, but I've not actually read the book. So it's kind of like knowing what you know, but knowing what you don't know, and knowing how to speak it, knowing what to share. Making sure you're giving the correct information, because I'm thinking about neuroplasticity. Like the King of Swords is trusted with the words it speaks. It's trusted to give the correct information. And I'm just thinking about like the neuroplasticity of the person receiving the King of Swords words or knowledge. Being trusted with that. Because it's like, in a way, you're changing the neuroplasticity within someone else if they're taking your words. If they're taking what you have to say, if they're putting it in action into their life, that's literally changing their neuroplasticity. You're, in a way, responsible for that. Being karmically responsible for the words you share, for the knowledge you speak, what you're giving out. That's why it's so important for the King of Swords to not speak what it doesn't know, or know when to share something and when to keep something unspoken. Yeah, just being trusted. Okay. And then we have, December. So something either December 2021 or just like this past December or a December is important in some way. Okay. I mean, it's literally sitting between the two kings, the King of Swords and the King of Cups. A bond, union between two kings. December. And when I'm saying union can mean like very different things for everyone. Like it can just be like a union of creative minds, a union of energy of two different beliefs, aspects, or love. It could just represent many different things, like, you know. Okay, then windfall. Windfall of emotion, or it could literally mean money. Windfall in December, a December windfall. It's sitting right above How to Train Your Dragon, and I'm not getting anything about that movie right now. I'm literally focused in on this and training like Rocky, training your mind, training something, evolving, feeling things. It's sitting right below the King of Cups, which really feels like mastering your emotions, which, you know, in order to master your emotions, like you really have to be able to look at things. You have to be able to look at your memories, your past, and really feel it. And that can be harder than it seems sometimes, especially when there's a lot of trauma. Letting it wash over you. Letting something wash over you. Crying, releasing it, screaming, doing what you need to do to get it out of your body. This could even be about like working out. I'm thinking about like train like Rocky. This could literally mean like a physical thing, getting something out of your body, getting trauma out of your body. But I'm really focused in on him kind of just floating in this water right here, almost like it kind of already hit him. Something or a process that you're in, letting things like hit you and just like kind of being calm. kind of reminds me of like a hurricane of emotion. And then like just letting yourself be calm, letting it settle, feeling it, not closing your eyes to anything. Yeah. His eyes are open, but I was going to say emotion normally is something that you feel within your body, something that you feel, and you don't necessarily need your eyes to feel it. Emotionally, eyes open. I think it was Capricorn or Aquarius, I can't remember which one, that got the emotional liberation in their reading this week with the dove. It just reminds me of that, like being brave to feel things, emotionally liberated, when you're not repressing something or you're not repressing your emotion. You're just allowing yourself to be okay with what you're feeling, especially if this is trauma. Just feeling it, like allowing it to get outside of your body. A good way to get trauma outside of your body is, yes, it's screaming or doing like, exercise and workout. But another great way, which is what I first started doing, was writing about it. It literally gets it out of your body and onto paper. It takes it out of that space, especially when you write about it and you give it out to like the world. It's no longer something that is inside of you. It's almost like something like other people can carry, other people can relate to. It's not something that you're suffering with alone or that you're carrying alone anymore. Okay, then Amazon. I'm now thinking about Gabrielle from Xena. Wasn't she from the Amazon? An Amazonian? Sitting right below Boy Meets World. Thinking about Xena and Gabrielle now. But Amazon, okay. Amazon. Yeah, this could just mean several different things for people because I'm not getting anything like clear. This could be about the Amazon rainforest or Amazon, the delivery service, or, Amazonian, or however you say that. Yeah. Okay, so write about pipe. Just sounds like memory. Like I'm just thinking about like I have a lot of like pipe memories to do with my past, like my early 20s. Write about pipe. Something from your past, something creative, maybe a drug experience. Might be interesting. Huh. If you like experience some kind of trauma within a drug experience, that might be helpful to write about, to get it out of your body. Okay, and then good energy. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep saying this. Just look up Casey and Callie means. They absolutely inspired my whole like revolution in my own life, with the way that I've changed my lifestyle and my food habits. It almost felt like, a couple years ago, I was really wanting something that inspired me to like really make me want to lose weight, because it can be hard to try to lose weight or make changes in your life when it's more so like just mental. And you're almost like forcing yourself to do things because, you know it's good. But when you're inspired, when you're passionately inspired by something, you're far more able to make something happen. Like train like Rocky. Like it's something that comes like from deep within. That fire is what gets you moving. It's what propels you forward. And they like I said, I asked for something. I needed something that was going to inspire me in the way that I needed to be inspired. And Casey and Callie Means came along and just completely, because it felt like, how do I say this? It felt like sticking it to the man. I guess like that's the best way to say it. It felt like when you really understand what's going on within, like, I'm not going to go down too much of a rabbit hole. Like, I don't want this to be what this is about, but just the corruption involved within the food industries and the medical systems and how they are linked together, how they pat each other's backs. And Casey and Callie Means, like, they opened my eyes up to that. Like, it's disgusting. What's going on and what's been going on for a long time with no one taking any kind of accountability. And they are literally responsible for, I feel like, the majority of people, the health crisis. They literally help pat each other's back. They just send people on a loop to each other. Like, it's like a sick system. Literally science created to make you keep eating. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, literal scientists, like, lots of money invested into figure out ways to create this, like, crisis of health to make you want to eat, to create addiction in food. Okay. All right. Beauty and the Beast. Breaking a curse. This might be generational. Could be within, like, something else. Could even be just something that you do for yourself, that you've recognized within yourself. Yeah. It's kind of like changing a pattern of something that has kind of been going on. I'm thinking almost like family. When, like, there's certain habits and behaviors going on with family, you tend to pick those up, especially if you live close with them or someone else who has, like, bad habits. Like, and I'm thinking about, like, food. And it's almost like, well, okay. Yeah, it's kind of like having been conditioned in a certain way with a certain kind of, like, lifestyle. And kind of like with me, like, kind of refusing to go down that same path. Like, and seeing all the health conditions that are connected with that path. Or whatever that means for you. And, like, just refusing for that to be your fate. Changing your destiny because you've changed your fate. Like, that's not my fate. Like, I'm going to change that. I'm not going to end up like you. Like, you... Let's just say, like, just breaking something. A psychological conditioning. Generational. Or within love, because Beauty and the Beast is with love. A conditioned pattern within love, even. Within your family. Cycles that have reoccurred within your family, within love. Refusing for that to be your story. Okay. So, Finland. The happiest country on earth. being in an emotional state of many, letting things wash over you, feeling many different emotions at once, that windfall. Holding grace. Finland. Eucalyptus could also just be important. Like, that just is what came through for Finland. Those eucalyptus branches. Or, you know. Being in a state of many. It's okay. Okay, and then How to Train Your Dragon. Is there anything about that movie, or is it just this? I'm thinking about the two kings here. And is it in How to Train Your Dragon 2, where he's being trained to become the new leader once his father passes? You could kind of think of that as like two kings. His father is the current leader of the tribe, and he's being prepared to be the next leader. Okay. Yeah, nothing else is coming through with that. Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. Maybe that might just be a cute series to watch. Maybe it might help with this in some way. This fiery energy. It almost feels like we have three kings on the table. Like King of Cups, King of Swords, and this like King of Fire. Where's the King of Earth? The grounding. The putting something in form. Maybe all this energy is like creating something to bring it into form. Bring it into reality, to something that you can touch, interact with. Yeah. King of Earth, resources, the fruit of everything you've sown. Yeah. Wisconsin now. I'm thinking of the cheese curds again. Which is physical. Yeah, something you can physically eat. Yeah, that's all I'm thinking about with the Wisconsin. I wish I could say more. Just cheese curds. And good cheese. That's all I knew. I saw 333 the other day with Wisconsin, but it didn't really it didn't stand out in like an important way. Okay. All right, so Boy Meets World. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm thinking about. Like something happening to get him to understand his emotions, what he really wanted. Huh. And his friends kind of set this up to get him to speak, to acknowledge what he truly felt. And he did. At the end of it, he shared to Topanga how he truly felt about her. Yeah. King of Cups and King of Swords, emotional clarity. Knowing what you know emotionally, or coming into that truth. Passionate expression, or just knowing about this like egg. Because I just keep seeing this, like being able to see something. It almost looks like she's not even technically holding it, but she's able to see it almost as if she can actually touch it and hold it. Like this lotus in her bowl. Her chalice. Her pensieve. Thinking about Dumbledore from Harry Potter, when he looks into the pensieve, he's able to go into the actual memory and experience it as if he was there. Yeah, with the 2021 sitting right below it, that just sounds important in some way. Something important to look back at or just hold awareness around with 2021. I think I said 2020. I meant 2021. And then the Sagittarius energy, exploring your nature, exploring your environment, coming to terms with your passion and your fire. The Centaur. It's the year of the horse, which is what is reminding me of that. Running free. Freedom. Free to explore. I'm thinking about the ladybug. Yeah, the ladybug again. Understanding who you are and what you truly want. But these two kings right here feel like they know, or they're going to know. That is holding the peak knowledge of something, awareness of something, and then having the peak emotion of something. And these two together, that sounds like emotional clarity, the peak of emotional clarity around something, around a project, a relationship, around leadership even, around curses, around the food system, around this drug stuff, around cheese, around Amazon. That might be interesting. I know a lot of people have mixed opinions about Amazon. This kind of like fast-paced ordering of things. It kind of takes away from like the small business, about being present in the world. Yeah, we have the King of Earth isn't here, which almost sounds like actually going into like small businesses and shopping in person, you know? Yeah, and then this flagship. I just heard like a revolution. Okay, guys. Yeah, the neuroplasticity, did I cover everything that I needed to say here? Maybe just explore, like look up neuroplasticity if that's not something that you're already looking into. New ways of creating new neural connections, bringing in new things into your life, trying different things, changing your environment, rearranging even your furniture, like in how your mind like walks through a room, can be fun. Like I just changed everything around in here and it's been really, I love it. My brain loves it too, you know, just you know, new pathways like in physical reality. Yeah, just adding in different things. This could even be with like music. Bringing in music that you don't normally listen to. Challenging yourself in some way. Exploring like niche topic. Like, I just went down a rabbit hole with like gnome stuff, and I created a whole like playlist around it, like just like really cool gnome videos, weird things. Like, I just went right down the rabbit hole with gnomes. Yeah, just like stuff like that, like explore. Kind of changes, yeah, bringing different alchemy in changes the connections in your brain, the knowledge you have, can inspire new things in your life, new creative pursuits, new creative paths. Maybe this is like preparing you in some way for December, like in the future, in some way, maybe. Or it could just be about the past. Okay, guys. I just thought about Dumbledore again when I was looking at these two cards, like him going into the past, into the pensieve, into the physical reality of his memory, and finding an egg and grabbing it and taking it back. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I hope you guys found some good alchemy, some good questions, some answers here. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.